Every single season of your life requires a different version of you. I was once a teenager, I had to have passed my teenage years to get to this place. And as a teenager, I made friends. I went to boarding school and I learned a lot, but I made friends. And yes, as much as I wanted to grow up and be a lawyer or an actress or whatever it is I wanted to be, well, those were the big two I wanted to be. I was a different person than I am now. Even back then, when people spoke to me, I was I felt like I knew everything. And even then, I had an attitude to many things and many people. Well, given some people deserve that attitude, but that was a different version of me. That's not a version of me now. Now, in my 20s, I became more serious. I went to university. I was in university. I had to learn. I had to study. I had to grow up. I even became a student pastor. Believe it or not, there was a time in my life that I was actually a pastor, and it was a good season for me. I needed structure. I needed to be grounded in my 20s, and that gave me structure and that gave me grounding. Then I got married in my 20s, my mid-20s, and I had to go from being single to being married. And in all of that, I also needed to find myself as who I wanted to be, whether it's as a working person or as an entrepreneur. But I always knew the kind of job I wanted to have. I knew the kind of business I wanted to have and what it would require. And I was ready to put in the work. But this is the season where I started growing and I became a mother. And, straddling that world of wife, motherhood, an employee, being in that space, it required a different version of me. It required a version of me that I needed to show up every day for other people, not just about myself or my other family, but put myself out there and look after these other people. Then in my 30s, it was more of giving myself to people. But at some point in my mid-30s, I realized that I had given myself to other people for so long that I had started losing myself. I had actually lost myself in that whole process. So I went through a process of rediscovery for myself, my vision, my purpose, grounding myself in me, pulling me out of myself, you see. And that required a different version of me, not the free version of me, not the version of me that was selflessly given to everybody except me, but it required this other mature version of me that came to realize that I can take care of others and at the same time take care of myself as well. And that took me from my late 30s into my 40s. And now I'm 41. I'm not even 42. So I'm still pretty much in my early 40s. But there's this sense of coming into my own, and to borrow Michelle Obama's word of becoming. I have become myself, and the journey to discovery, I don't think it ever ends, because in every season of your life, you discover a different version of yourself in the context of that season. And my life is still changing and evolving. Life will never stop evolving, because the moment it evolves, it stops evolving. It's time it starts dying. Now, I have come into myself as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, and all this shift happened in my late 30s and me settling into this space. And as I crossed over to 40, it became more settled, so to say. There's that sense of direction of where you want to go now. And by the grace of God, that path, you are clear on it. And you start making decisions on who you really want to be part of that journey of your life and who you don't. And you look at the people that have come so far with you, and you realize that some have just drawn and taken from you, and you decide, am I going to keep going? If I want to really fulfill that purpose, that vision in my life, which version of me best serves that? Is it that version of me that takes care of everybody except myself? Or is it that version of me that can take care of everybody and myself at the same time? It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. And it takes growth, and it takes knowledge, and it takes experience, and it takes a self-discovery and self-knowledge to get to that place of comfort in yourself. And when you do that, like, things really change. So know the version of you that you are now, because the version of you is really the version of you that you're currently living is the version of you that will serve your purpose and your vision. And if you're not living the best version of you for the now, you kind of don't grow. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I've made sense to you. So be the best version of yourself for the season you are currently in. Don't be another version that is not relevant to that current season, to this current season, and see where it takes you. All right. Have a good one. Cheers and bye.